So before I go ahead and open up the dance floor, we actually have a surprise. Third.
Jesse McCartney?
It is not Jesse McCartney. Here he is! Instead. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the Torgo Entertainment YouTube channel. Torgo here. Welcome back to another gig log and welcome back to another wedding. September rolls on and the Albany weddings roll on as well. Today we celebrate the wedding of Joe and Alicia. This is another subcontracted wedding through All Star Entertainment, and this is the fourth of the 6 weddings that I inherited through them because the DJ had unfortunately passed away last year. We head to 60 State Place in Albany, New York. Let's go to the map and show you exactly where that is. We're looking at about 3 hours and 15 minutes away, like all of the Albany events that I have this year. And because it's a brand new venue, you know what time it is. It is time to case the joints.
I thought you said the library was closed, Frank.
This is what they call casing.
The black and white does not do this venue justice. They have their own built-in uplighting around the room, but it's a very large room with a lot of marble because this used to be a bank, and it's very echoey. It's essentially one big echo chamber. Sound travels extremely easily in here. There's the owner, which is great in some aspects, but bad in some others. And downstairs, where they have all the vaults and whatnot, this is where cocktail hour will take place.
So it's a pretty self-explanatory venue layout. Upstairs for the reception, downstairs for the cocktail hour. What I'm doing for cocktail hour this time, however, is something I've never done before. I am caving into the Bluetooth. I'm going to bring my Samsung tablet that I used to run lights on a couple years ago. I have that loaded up with instrumental cocktail hour music, and I'm going to have a Bluetooth connection into one of my Bose S1 Pro speakers. Because I know it'll work, why bring more equipment for something that's just gonna end up shoved to the side where the cocktail hour is? The layout of the cocktail hour is a little strange. It's just one long corridor, so I didn't really have room to set up more than that. So I figure one speaker stand, speaker on top, and a tablet somewhere is just more than enough for what I need. The real challenge of this wedding will be the introductions, and I'm happy Phil's coming with me on this one for this wedding in particular. Joe and Alicia have decided to have a non-traditional entrance for their wedding party, and they have written a paragraph roasting each of them as they get introduced one by one. When they talked to me at first, they told me that they were kind of thinking some hybrid of a Friars Club roast and a WWE entrance. Phil used to do amateur wrestling, so I definitely am happy he's here. I think what we're going to do is alternate back and forth. I do one entrance, he does one entrance, and so on and so forth, just so it doesn't get so monotonous with me reading all that much. Especially because they only gave me one song for entrances, and 3.5 minutes of Bring 'Em Out by T.I. is not going to be long enough to introduce all these people. When I pick Phil up on the way there, we're going to iron out some of the details, so that may change when I actually have this online, but we will see. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm a little nervous because I've never met these people before, so I don't want them to think, or the audience to think, that I'm saying these things about them, or this is what I think. So some of them are a little bit, they cross a line, if you will, so we'll see how that goes. And the other thing I have at this wedding that's new for this year, I'm bringing back foam sticks. I found a new vendor on Etsy, and 2 of my weddings this year wanted foam sticks. This is the first of the 2, and I got a brand new design. I've had foam sticks before, but I don't like the ones that you can get on bulk packages on Amazon because they only last 10 minutes. These are supposed to last a little longer, and I got them in solid white light, because I'm thinking from a photographer's point of view. When I have all the dance floor lighting going on in the back, I want those to stand out, so the white will look really good. Plus, it'll have some light radiation on their faces as they hold them, hopefully, so that'll make people look better in some photos. At least that's how I'm thinking. I might be overthinking this a little bit. It's a late wedding today, 5:30 to 11:30. It is currently 9:30 in the morning. I'm going to be out of here in about an hour, pick up Phil on the way, get to the venue hopefully by 2:30. 3 hours to set up should not be a problem with one main setup and a very tiny cocktail hour, and I'm getting a hotel overnight, so I come back tomorrow. But I hope you're ready for this one. It should be interesting. The entrances are going to be long in this video, I have a feeling. But I hope you're ready. Let's go!
Downtown Albany means parking is a problem. The venue's right there on the right, which is where I was able to park a couple months ago, but now Phil and I have to find parking. It took us quite a while, but we ended up parking across the street from the venue, so we have to hoof everything across this major road through downtown, which is not the best situation in the world, and the overhead does not really do any favors to people watching. You can't really tell what's going on because most of the building is inside, so let's show you what happened. There's my car. Across the street, I am filming this from the main entrance. Everything's all set up. There's my finger. Sorry about that. We have stairs, so we couldn't really use the carts. We had to do everything by hand. And we enter Rogero Hospitality at 60 State. And there's the main entrance. We have my Allendale Defenders running wire there because it's really the only place we could do it. You'll see why once we head inside. See how large and marble covered these walls are? It looks really nice, but again, the sound was my main concern. The uplighting is there, that's why it doesn't match or is in weird places. So here's what we ended up doing. The grand entrance is gonna come through this main entrance that I just came through. So we have the lights all set up. This is just amber, 100% on the amber, no other colors, orange on the movers. And we have my QSC K10.2 tops. Stop me if you've heard this before. We have some speaker stands with some white scrim. Underneath the scrim, we have some ADJ Element hex pars in the ST model. The standard Element hex par at the base of the totem with the ADJ 5PX, hex lights mounted on top. And we have the mover, of course, on top. We have the safety harness on each side, which, because, you know, it's the engineer in me. And we also have the DMX terminators where they need to be. On the other side is where we have everything just kind of nestled up in a corner. This is where they put us, so we had to make do. It's a little awkward having all the sound on one side of me, but that's what headphones are for, right? There's the Dragon front boards facade in the Ritmo pattern. There we have my good old microphone setup. We have the UB12 hex lights. Now, I ended up doing the speeches by myself, so I really could have gotten away with the one microphone rig, which is much smaller. But we have the ULXD rig today. We have my iPad running the Airstream app. As you can see, it's just amber, which has some orange lights on the movers. My radio 2-to-1 mixer to take those two microphones and put them on one channel on the board. Some boards have two microphone outs. Mine has one, so I have to do it that way. We have my PowerBar 65, my trackball mouse with all my plugs, my Roland DJ 808 controller, which again I love so very dearly. Here we have my Samsung Odyssey Z laptop running Virtual DJ 2020. Still haven't upgraded yet. Come at me. The ADJ Airstream DMX bridge, the Audio-Technica ATH M50X headphones, the headphone stand. Underneath we have all my power and whatnot. It's a little loosey-goosey. Again, I filmed this when I can. We have tape, and all the power for everything is running into these plugs right here, except for the speaker on the other side. That's going over there. This light, I don't know what it is. It's the venue's Eddy light. I've never heard of it. Maybe they're good. I don't know, but that's what those pin spots are around the room. Those are not mine. And inside this trash bag, we have those custom-made foam sticks. There's 50 of them. That's how many I thought would be good. Joseph and Alicia, September 10th, 2022. You turn on the light once. Oh, look at those. 3 different light features, and I love the way white looks on the dance floor, in the room. White was the correct choice. I think it's going to look great as the night progresses. It's packed pretty tightly in here, but we make our way down here. See the safe deposit. You can see where we are compared to the dance floor. This dance floor is very long and very narrow. I'm worried about how it's going to look on camera. But we make our way down these stairs. This is a little harrowing. For guests, they do have an elevator at the ready, so don't think there's going to be a bunch of people moving up and down here. So for cocktail hour, I wasn't sure where I was going to go. I talked to the people at the venue. The bar is over here, so they wanted the music over here because it was kind of having the speaker far away from the main stairwell, so we put the speaker here. The Bose S1 Pro, which you've seen a ton of times, but I've never run it on Bluetooth on camera, really. So we have my Samsung tablet, which I used to run my lights on back when I was using, you know, the old way. And right now it's playing some Super Mario World. I don't have the playlist available for the cocktail music just because I don't know the order. It doesn't save that. But we have time for one more thing. Let's level up.
Let's go. Hi, fish. Hey, where's Fish go? Alright, so check this out real quick. We're gonna change things up just a little bit, just to let you know. Your bride and groom wanted to switch things up this evening with the introductions, to make things a little more spicy for all of you, to make sure that you all get your time's worth here. So, as we bring in our wedding party, I want you to enjoy a little bit of a roast that we have for everybody coming in. So, check this out. Hi, he's Nick Rowe, President and CEO of Safe Life Defense. His armor is as thin and strong as he thinks it is. His physique is a lot like his race cars most of the time, broken down and needing work. He's got the need for speed, but couldn't run from a sloth if his butt was covered in eucalyptus. He's your best man. He's Joe's oldest brother, Nick Rowe. Here comes the first member of your bridal party. I'm surprised she's even awake right now since it's after 6:30. She's like a honey badger. She's small, feisty, ferocious, and would do anything for her pack. After she does CrossFit, she even smells like one too. If you have a mole or a rash, you can ask her to take a look at it, and she will refer you to someone who knows what the hell they're doing. As tiny as she may be, she's up for the big job this evening, folks. She's your maid of honor, Kelsey Harvey. All right, here's a guy you definitely want on your side when things hit the fan, or the shampoo bottle, per se. He is strong enough to lift a skier, knows how to skin a deer, is the king of shotgunning beer, your perennial belly flop champion, Joe's brother, Anthony Grove. This next one, now, you probably don't know her because she's late to everything. No matter where she goes, she's working on Pacific Standard Time. If there's food, you bet she'll show up unfashionably late with Tupperware to take leftovers home. Hide the wedding cookies. Here comes Christina Malfiotti. Introducing your resident dog washer and hypochondriac. The only millennial on this side of the Mississippi to let his phone die on the regular. A surprisingly great cook and shockingly bad barber. Your brother of the bride, Eric Rosanowski. Now this next girl loves yoga, but you wouldn't know it by the way her hip gives out every time she walks. One would call her hard-working, but probably shouldn't. She took more vacations than she worked last year, after all. She's always snacking on something or drinking some nasty green juice. She's even getting a self-driving car so she can munch on some snacky crisps during her new hour-long commute. Give it up for bridesmaid Chris Edachine. You may recognize this next man from Jack and the Beanstalk. If you can climb all the way up his back, you might just find the golden goose. He just moved to Texas. Most definitely not for all the golf courses down there.
He is definitely going to move back to New York eventually.
Take a picture of that whenever it happens. Cousin of the groom, Christopher Crispy Petruccio. Next, she's a lawyer, but she could not win the case of her car versus 5 feet of standing water. She's the only person you'll meet who can say that she increased her chance of breaking their back stretching. Most people forget her name for whatever reason. If you do, just refer to her as Wedding Party Chris number 5. Your power center of the party, Tina Granthade. This next guy, he is the red-headed stepchild you hope that you never have. He once drank a live goldfish as a prank. And let's just say the goldfish swam in a different bowl that night, and we didn't see him for a week afterwards. Hide your bananas and windows from this groomsman. It is Steven Romano, and that's Steven with a P. Alicia. All right, everybody. Give a standing ovation for this rendition of Disney's Bambi on Ice. This mother duck knows how to tell her ducklings to stay in the thicket, or her dorm room at Hartwick. Her dog eats so many rocks, it's being leased out to construction companies for boulder removal projects. Give it up for your bridesmaid, Jackie Foreman! Next up, measuring in at 5 feet 10 inches. Our next groomsman will be the definition of white girl wasted tonight. He may win the award for the most boomerangs on Instagram and snaps of his mango white claws. He'll chef you up and also snap pictures of that too. Follow him at @CatLoverChris. It's groomsman Chris Mamanakis. Keeping it going, next up, at 5 feet 2 inches, your last bridesmaid is always running on Dunkin'. Marissa changes her PA specialty more often than Dunkin' changes their coffee creamers. We've never met anyone more innocent, yet so pumpkin spicy with her cursing. Always a good sport, and definitely a good dog mom. Please welcome Marissa Jimenez. Last but definitely not least, the only Italian that we've heard of to get kicked out of Long Island. He is speedrunning a midlife crisis in his mid-20s. He moved across the country, got in shape, and chain smokes cigars. He has as much game as he does hair follicles. But somehow he managed to find a date tonight. It's your final groomsman, Nick Sesto. All right, everybody, our families are in attendance. Our wedding party is in attendance. If you have the means to do so, now's the time to get on your feet. I want to see you all hoot and holler as much as you can for the couple of the day, the two happiest people on the planet. Keep it going for Mr. and Mrs. Joseph and Alicia.
rapid fire because you know what month it is. That's not a song I play every day. In fact, that's the first time, 12 years. First time playing it. This is not the first time I played this song.
This is something new. Cast the slide part 2. Turn it up. You're looking out for part 3. It's gonna be coming to your show. Right now, we gotta keep
There's no part 3. It's been 23 years. As soon as you can get on this job, Dairy Queen, you'll be part 3. it's kind of unfair because they only get like 30 seconds of the song and they don't really get a chance to enjoy all of it. So we're gonna go ahead and play all of it right now. Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's called the yell in the back in your muscle. But it does give them the opportunity to say, still a better love story than Twilight.
And I'm back. This is actually 1 week after the wedding, the next Saturday. And I apologize for this angle. I have packed up the camera. I'm on my way to a wedding very soon, actually. So I had to film this on my phone very quick. And I always try to match the colors of the wedding when I show up just to make it look like I belong. Unfortunately, green is next week and I have green walls, so it's a little bit washed out. So again, I apologize about that. But let me tell you, that wedding, Joe and Alicia, woo, that went great. At least on our end, it went great. A lot of the vendors showed up very late. 5:30 was cocktail hour start and vendors are just waltzing in right then. Like 5 of them. I was shocked. And as the night progressed, you could see the couple getting frustrated, especially because dinner was over an hour behind. And there's no excuse for it. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced this, but I've noticed in 2022 in particular, the catering has really been subpar compared to years past. Everywhere. I don't blame any one company for it. I don't know if they're just short-staffed or if resources are hard to come by, some combination therein. But regardless, food has been an issue at pretty much every wedding I've done this year. Glow sticks turned out absolutely great. I made the correct choice getting those in white. Not only do they look great when you have them opposite the colored lights, but you can turn the lights off entirely and it makes for a really cool effect that people seem to really enjoy. I ended up doing all of the announcements / roasts myself. Simply because I wanted Phil to be on the camera. I wanted to make sure that with a videographer there that we got all the entrances, and I needed Phil on camera because he's good at that. And I decided to just handle it all at once. And that worked out great. The only thing I didn't really know is I was told that one of the grandmothers was going to be sat at the table, and then without letting me know about it, she ended up walking in with the rest of them.
The grandparents. We have grandmother of the group, Rita Edwards. Grandparents of the bride, Frank and Nancy Deegan. And don't forget Josephine Razanowski at the table. Give it up for all 4 of them. Oh, she did come in.
So that was a little embarrassing, but again, I did what I was told. They didn't tell me any differently. This couple told me that their crowd was there to party, so I definitely went in with that mindset, but a lot of people still left early, and I'm not sure why. I was definitely trying to make the party go as hard as I could, obviously with ramping up to it. I think the dinner being late really kind of prevented that from happening as hard as they wanted to. Literally, as soon as the last table got dinner, boom, I was up doing the parent dances. When I was an hour 20 behind, I was like, look, we need to get moving. They included a sparkler send-off, which I didn't know about. They ended up really shortening the cake cutting portion, not making a big deal out of that at all. But overall, they had a fantastic time. And I'm doing really well on these subcontracted weddings, so I'm hoping that they keep going. And I bring that up because next week, today, is another subcontracted wedding, so stay tuned for that. A playlist will be at the tail end of this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Torgo with Torgo Entertainment, and I'll see you at the next wedding. Take care.
Bum ba bum ba bum.